In fact, let's go live to Paris via Skype for the latest with Armen Georgian, a correspondent for the news network France 24. Armen, you are on the ground there. Give us the latest.
Well, at the moment, we're trying to keep track of two hostage crises, one which has started in the last hour at a kosher supermarket in the south of Paris, somewhere called Porte de Vincennes. At least 5 hostages are being held there by a man called Amedi Koulibaly, who's known to the French police and the judicial authorities. He's someone who had links with the suspects in the Charlie Hebdo massacre. He knew those two brothers, the Kouachi brothers, from the time that the brothers were running this network called the But Chaumont network, which was funneling would-be jihadists to fight with Al-Qaeda in Iraq, starting in around 2004. So this man is suspected of being the same shooter as the one who killed the policewoman in Paris yesterday. That's what the police are saying. So there have actually been, just to make this clear, there have been 3 separate incidents. Yesterday, the shooting of the policewoman, that fatal shooting. Today, the hostage crisis now unfolding in southern Paris. And of course, as you mentioned, the brothers themselves, the Kouachi brothers, who are holed up in this town, Martin-en-Goël, about 25 kilometers northeast of Paris. We're not getting a lot of information from the police on how that's going. Of course, they're keeping our news teams and other news teams quite far away from the scene in order so that the media won't relay information that could be useful to the hostage takers, but we understand that they're trying to talk, trying to communicate with the hostage takers right now.
Armen, as I understand it, the Kouachi brothers are holed up in a print shop in an industrial park rather close to the airport, the Charles de Gaulle Airport, the main air hub for Paris, if you will. A couple of runways at that airport have been closed down, at least to incoming flights, to grant some space to law enforcement. Familiarize us with that particular area of what we might call suburban Paris.
Yeah, it's actually really it's considered to be outside the suburbs. You've got this belt just outside the Ring Road. This is actually a town in its own right, so it's not exactly the suburbs. It's certainly an industrial zone. It's not the kind of place where people would expect to see this kind of crisis unfolding, but it is close to the zone where the police were searching yesterday. It's only half an hour's drive from the main search area, from the massive manhunt that was happening in the woods just north of Paris as of yesterday.
Armen, you and your organization, France 24, have your own sources, your own reporters in the field. I am curious if you can back up what we are hearing from other news agencies and wire reports that the Kouachi brothers have been contacted by law enforcement and have been quoted as saying they want to die as martyrs.
To be honest, our teams haven't heard confirmation about that particular statement. All we know, all our teams have gleaned is that they're holding this one hostage and that they're heavily armed. They've been very cool and determined in the way they approached people in this town in Martin-en-Goël. Our team spoke to people who had come into contact with these two suspected killers, and one of the people that our team spoke to said that they didn't even realize that these guys were the suspects because they were wearing some kind of paramilitary gear, and they'd actually been mistaken by a local resident for a member of the security forces. So clearly you get the impression that these suspects are very professional, very cool and collected. That was obvious from their action at a gas station earlier when they robbed that gas station and got supplies. So they were clearly planning the next stage of this rampage, if you like, probably stocking up on supplies. No doubt that they're now deploying inside this printer's shop where they're heavily armed and holding this one hostage northeast of Paris.
And the last thing we want to do is engage in speculation. However, you had some interesting comments about the other hostage situation that's unfolded at the kosher supermarket. The two suspects believed to be part of that. You say there is some relationship, you understand, between them and the Kawachis?
Yes, absolutely. That's been confirmed by the police. It's been confirmed that Amedi Koulibaly, the suspect in the kosher supermarket hostage taking, is that he knew the Kouachi brothers, that he had associated with them, that he knew them from the time that the brothers were running this jihadist recruitment network called the Bouchonmont network back in the mid-2000s. That doesn't mean, police are stressing, that these attacks were somehow planned between Koulibaly and the Kouachi brothers. We don't know at this stage whether there was a sequence of events planned in advance, including the shooting of the policewoman yesterday, the hostage crisis, the hostage taking today at the kosher supermarket, and the Charlie Hebdo massacre. That's obviously very much in people's minds as to whether there is a sequencing, but we have no evidence that these three things were planned in advance.
Armen Georgian, we appreciate your report from Paris on this situation as you continue to monitor what is going on for your own organization, France 24. We will call on you again as the program continues. For now, our thanks, and we'll have you standing by there in Paris.
Thank you very much.